Welcome to another SSJ review. This time we're looking at the Iron Man Marvel Legends Iron Monger figure. This is the Build-A-Figure from the Iron Man Marvel Legends series, and this is my first Build-A-Figure figure because, well, I've tried before to get some figures from other sets like this, like Metal Gear Solid and maybe some other Marvel Legends before, but I was never really too interested in them. So this is kind of a big accomplishment for me to actually get my own complete Build-A-Figure. I would have loved to have a Red Hulk if I would have known about it when it was coming out, but yeah, here is Iron Monger, and this is a fantastic big looking figure. It has a really neat shiny metallic blue, and it has kind of the swirliness of the plastic in, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's to be expected. And obviously blue is the primary color, but it does have some hints of red on the chest piece and the cool Cyclops eye in the visor, and black also in the visor and the hoses on the arms, but in the antenna on his shoulder. But other than that, it's all blue. The sculpted detail on the figure is really cool, especially on the back. There's some really cool rivets and just sculpted detail inside the back. The hands look really cool. Overall, it is a really neat figure. It is kind of oddly proportioned, especially in the feet. It has kind of just cartoonishly big feet, but it is based on the comic book original Ironmonger design, so at least it's true to the original design. But yeah, this is one really impressive figure looking. As far as articulation goes, he has a ball jointed neck, which allows for a surprisingly amount of posability. Goes left and right, a little bit up, and can look down into his chesticles there. These shoulder panels do not move, which is rather unfortunate, because if these were on any sort of hinge, the arms could go way more up, but unfortunately because they don't move, they just kind of go off to the side. There's a really cool ab crunch here, which goes more back than forward, but it's still pretty neat. And when you put it all the way back, you can see all the way up into the chest. There's no waist articulation, which is fun because it actually has the ab crunch, can also swivel. He does have traditional, like, kind of ball jointed shoulders, which are actually fairly loose. The tiniest little bit of elbow movement, which is kind of pathetic. Like, that's all the movement, but and he does have hydraulics on the back of his arms, which would have been really, really impressive if they would have incorporated that somehow, but no. Wrist is on a swivel joint, which only gets a little bit of movement because of the armor on the wrist. He does have ball jointed hips, thigh swivel, double jointed knees, which doesn't really accomplish a whole lot because you can only get 90-degree bend in there, because you can see there's a joint here and here, but it can only go to that far, so kind of silly there. And just a little bit of foot movement. So as you can see, articulation on this has some potential, but really just some parts of it just kind of hinder it so many ways. But I don't care, because this is one of the figures that just really looks cool and just a very intimidating, just static pose like that looks really cool. Just something very basic, just works for this figure. And for a size comparison, let me well, I just have this one right here. It's the Iron Man Mark 6 from the Iron Man 2 line. You can see he's a pretty big figure. I still would have preferred it to be the movieverse Ironmonger figure because I just really love that design. I never got around to getting any Iron Man 1 figures, which I really, really regret. But this is still a really cool looking figure. So overall, the Ironmonger is one hell of a figure. I love it. I love it to death. However, it is a huge investment because you are going to have to actually buy 6 figures at $50 or $15 a pop. You're going with about tax. You're going to be spending about $90 for 6 figures to get the complete Ironmonger, unless you were to purchase one just like Ironmonger on eBay, which would probably be more. But still, you're still getting 6 figures alongside this that are all really, really good. So I definitely recommend buying the entire line of the Build-A-Figure Iron Man series to build this guy, because he is way more impressive than I would have hoped for. So I definitely recommend everyone picking up all the Iron Man Marvel Legends figures, because this is one hell of a figure and a great satisfactory end to the first 2 waves of the Iron Man Marvel Legends series. Until next time, thanks for watching.